Hey, everybody. We are waiting to see what the president might say this evening. I'm showing you this is the latest news in the Wall Street Journal. Talks didn't go as well as hoped. Iran says they're not giving up the nuclear. Uh, and so we'll see what the president does. He's, as you know, said there's no way they're ever going to have a nuclear program. But we'll see. I don't think this has turned out to be the easy thing that he may have thought it would be. It's no Venezuela, and it's not over. That being said, maybe the worst is over. The market thinks that based on the charts, but we'll see how they open up tomorrow morning based on this news. So let's take a look at the charts and see where they're at. And not too many of them are giving us any entry points here because we want to see if prices pull back. And part of the good thing with this news is they're likely to pull back. As I said, the markets believe that the worst is over. Why do they say that? Well, they were in a clearly defined downtrend. There's the S&P 500. And then prior to the ceasefire, you remember the president was saying he's going to send them back to the Stone Age. Well, during that rhetoric, there was a gap down and a strong close. And then here was the night before what had happened that day where it called the ceasefire. But intraday, prices sold off, and they came right back, forming a bottoming tail bar on the S&P 500. So just applying the charts and forgetting the news, that was suggesting it's going to go up. So it was going sideways at resistance. We got a bottoming tail bar, what I call a correction bar. And then the news came out and it gapped up about 3%. No entry point. A little bit more sideways there would have been great, even though it was below the 200. As short-term traders, we're looking for it to move up. Well, it gapped up and then it's gapping up into resistance. Great. It cleared the 50 MA on a closing basis, but we're not chasing this. So now we'll see where they're going to open up tomorrow morning and what they do. And ideally, it won't fill this gap. So again, regardless of the news and what's coming out there, this is an igniting gap. If something bad is going to happen, all right, it'll fill the gap. If it pulling back maybe halfway into the gap, chopping around, maybe the 200 catches up sideways, maybe who knows, how much time it'll take. In addition, this is an option expiration week. Typically, options expiration weeks don't get too far without retracing back in the other direction. Just mentioning again, news, throw havoc into that. But under normal options expiration week, things are going to be relatively range bound. So I would think staying above 6,700 would be constructive, and probably staying below 6,900, which based on the news, I would assume that it's going to. Maybe even staying below 6,800. That's where we're at, waiting for more bars to form, bar by bar analysis. Industrials were better looking, but it's the same consolidation at resistance. It gapped up, and we've got a 1, 2, 3 type of a pattern after an igniting gap. So can it take that high out? We'll see. Still not the greatest pattern because you've got a void below. It's not like it came out of a base, no, and just cleared the highs. It gapped up significantly. And technology, which did great. We'll take a look at some other influences there, but this is very constructive in consolidating. It backed off a little bit on Friday, but you can see the pinching 50 and 200 MAs in alignment with support. Ideally, it stays above that. That'd be one of the key things to look for in any retracement that happens. Communications and a downtrend below the 50. So as we talk about relative strength and relative weakness, and we see others that are above the 50, this one is below 50 declining. That showed relative weakness. Same gap up and void. Energy pulled back on the news. That's what it should have done. Violated major support. It's at a rising 50. Odds are it's going to go up tomorrow unless some other news comes out. Financials at least broke the back of the downtrend, initially cleared the 50. And so what I'm telling you here is a step-by-step foundational systematic process of looking at the charts. And we're going to see how they develop. And the idea of bar by bar analysis will guide us as to what's happening, regardless of the news, and whether to just sit on our hands and do nothing, or whether we get a new bar by bar confirmation. What might that be? Well, it could be a gap down tomorrow morning that then closes green, right? Closing up into this high of that red bar. That could be what would be welcomed as a continuation pattern. Now, that being said, where's it going to go? Well, the 200 MA. It's not like we got a huge upside target. And that's what we're dealing with right now. Materials. This was doing great prior to the retracement, and everything started retracing in February and pulled back, and then the gap up on the news. And so we'll see what that does. Consumer discretionary, downtrend, violated major resistance, declining 50 MA, still below it. Maybe it can go sideways there. We'll see how that shapes up. Consumer staples is a defensive sector. And I suspect maybe well, look, if everybody is risk off, they're not even buying defensive. They're just going to hold on or sell to raise more cash. We're just going to have to see how it all shapes up. But we got a red bar on Friday, and that's not unusual with a bottoming pattern, even one that is forming bullish bar by bar action, like a red bar ignored and a reversal like that. Now, if we were to get a gap down reversal, again, that would be a continuation pattern, but where's it going to go? A flat 50 MA with an unfilled gap and resistance? Upsides are not big here. It's going to take a longer amount of time to dissipate this uncertainty. Healthcare doesn't look so great. Nothing really does. And even what did move up nicely, like real estate, it's up at resistance. And utilities had a nice big move. It's up at resistance. So let's look at a few others. Qs, push up into resistance and stall there. Unfilled gap. It's above the moving averages. Probably needs to pull back towards 600. I would be ideal. A whole number aligned with moving averages and a buy setup. That would be good. Now this is great. The semiconductors, after breaking down under the lows, came all the way back again. I talked about this in our advisory letter when it broke down, because we always have two scenarios. We have a fact of what is, meaning a sideways consolidation. It's all at a head and shoulders top and a breakdown. And at that point, when it was closing under there, I was like, all right, that's got to go down and test the 200 or even lower. And so what I told subscribers, well, yeah, that's what should happen. But this news-driven market, if by some chance this thing could recover, and it did, that's going to be a great sign. And again, the gap up gave us no entry point. And it was just a gap, and it took off, and we're not chasing. Internet, this is more constructive, meaning it didn't move too far, too fast. It did move a lot from the low to the gap up. That's about 10%, and that's big in a short amount of time. But it doesn't have a huge gap. It's at resistance, and if it can consolidate here a bit and make a turn, we're going to be interested in that in our ETF letter. And then, of course, in the green room and in the advisory letter, we'll look at the stocks within it, which is pretty easy to do. I just have to click this, and it's going to open it up, and then I can go through those. Now, software, this was bottoming out, and we got whipsawed on this one. And it gapped up when everything else did, and then the Anthropic news came out. The software stocks got decimated. They were bottoming out and down again, and it really doesn't have much support here. But just like the head and shoulders top that occurred in the semiconductors, what if this, by chance, this breakdown immediately reverses itself? That's going to be an opportunity. Defense doesn't look great. All this money being spent on bullets and missiles and what have you, not doing too much of anything. Now, home builders, this came down a lot, big correction. Interest rates were going up. Home builders historically go down when interest rates go up, and now they're bottoming out. And if interest rates continue to move lower, this is going to be constructive and move higher. Just based on the typical reaction to what's been happening in the news, it's more likely interest rates are going to go up as oil goes up, inflation concerns. But we'll see what happens tomorrow morning. Home construction got more room to go up. We'll see what that does. Copper miners bottoming out, and so on. We go through these same thing. It's pretty much the same everywhere. The Russell 2000 was bottoming out, it gapped up at resistance. So the upside is limited. Now, the transports look amazing, but it's primarily one stock that really pushed it, was short covering in this budget group that drove it higher. And if you look at IYT, which is a truer representation of the transports, even though there's more than 20 stocks in it, that's, you take out CAR, and that's pretty much what we got. Regional banks, constructive, bottoming out. So another reason to think that the worst is over, because money gravitated into many things, some more aggressively than others. And as long as they don't collapse all the way back down again, we're going to discount the rhetoric that's happening out of Washington and Iran and just say, you know what, buyers are going to continue to step up here. Biotech was another whipsaw situation. It broke down and came back up again. Some other sectors. And you're going to see more of the same thing, right? There's broker-dealers. Looks pretty good. I mean, what looks good about it? Well, it bottomed out. It did hit the 200 and pulled back. It didn't make a giant gap. If it can go sideways here a little bit, I would think it takes the 200 out. Defense again. Healthcare providers, not interested. This is doing really, really well. It's on its own page. I'd look at the stocks in there. Bitcoin. Not sure what it's going to do. It's still in the trading range, but look at how the moving averages are pinching. And what does that mean? Well, what it means is it's been going sideways for a while. Moving averages, we call them a visual aid. I can see it's been going sideways for a while. But the 50 was declining. It's a widely followed moving average, and it's closed above it. And that's constructive after going sideways for so long and having been below it for a long amount of time. Gold miners, that broke down, retraced back up. These are not great patterns. Gold. Keep an eye on the equal weighted. What are the mags doing? We'll take a look at them. But equal weighted had a nice retracement, got above the 200 and the 50. So there was pretty good participation there. So that's a good sign. Retailing just got stuck right there at the converging moving averages. Medical devices in a downtrend in all time frames, so there's no interest there. Healthcare, no interest. And another biotech index, so different stocks within that one. Magnificent Seven. Now look at Apple, this rounding bottom. There was some negative news on this day, and it came back. It didn't gap up big on Wednesday. And then we got a bottoming tail bar on Thursday, and it held up well. We'll see what this does. I like the fact that it held the 200. It's pulled back. You can see this rounding kind of a bottom. If you're a indicator aficionado, your MACD is given a buy signal. But if it can clear these highs short term, it should go up. Alphabet, Google came back. It cleared this resistance. That looks good. Again, we'll see what the news is, but if it can clear those highs, that should go up. Meta, not interested there. Nice retracement, but declining 50. Amazon came strong. I don't know what the news was, but that gapped up and it kept going. Upside limited, resistance. Tesla continues to be in a downtrend. It is on some support here. You can see that congestion to the left. No interest yet. What would get us interested? Maybe a bullish wide range bar if it was to form. Range expansion, big bullish bar, would be interested in a put spread. Nothing right now. Netflix showing relative strength, and this didn't get the deal on the company it wanted to buy, so money's been going into that, coming back to it. Software, I was looking at that in our advisory letter, but there's the ETF for the Magnificent Seven up against the 50. NVIDIA, semiconductors. So you saw the semiconductor ETF. This is underperforming, but huge improvement, breakdown, and recovery. So that looks pretty darn good. And Microsoft, believe it or not, showed relative strength. This is an integral part of IGV. and IGV broke down, and if you look at other stocks within it, you can see the breakdown on that compared to this going flat. So it showed relative strength. All right, just look at a few stocks within the list. So this is a filtered list. There's only 452 stocks in there. And so the different scans could look for things that are rolling up. So looking for bottoming things. So there are still pretty good looking stocks out there and charts. So uptrend above the 20, above the 50, above the 200. Do we get a pullback? Here's another one. Healthcare, medical care, rounding bottom. Look at the gap down reversal, bottoming tail. As we group candles and apply bar by bar analysis, bottoming tail bar, gap down reversal, moving up by the pullback. It is at resistance, which we can see on the weekly time frame. So when we look to the left, it's at resistance. So far, it's dealing very well with that resistance, or what I call absorbing supply. So a pullback here would be really constructive, assuming it holds up in this area and then move higher. So keep an eye on ACHC. All right. So you can see we can find plenty of things that may be on its own page, and we can find others. Again, a software moving down, plenty of software stocks that look like they're going to go lower. Ones that might be topping out and rolling over, slowing momentum, but I wouldn't call it topping out. Again, these scans put you in the ballpark of what we're looking for. And then from there, right, we look for the patterns. So nothing there. We'll see what tomorrow brings. And as always, if you have questions, email me, Greg@MasterTrader.